Hey YouTube seekers, this is Bonnie from Ecstatic Earth Arts, and I am just getting everything else squared away here. Hey Facebook seekers, this is Bonnie from Ecstatic Earth Arts. Same to on Instagram, this is Bonnie from Ecstatic Earth Arts. I'm just going to get another tab open for Facebook. I'm a little behind today, so because I spent time doing this and lost track of time. So let's see. Let's go to Ecstatic Earth Arts on Facebook. I'm going to open this as its own video. Hello YouTube, hello Instagram, hello Facebook. If you could cooperate with me, that would be swell. I'm just trying to get, here we go. Open. It's giving you a second today. There we go. All right, great. Now I can see everybody. Excellent. So welcome to this week's live. I know it's a day and like 5 minutes late because reasons. All right. So I'm going to wait until some folks show up and then I'll start chatting. No point in talking everyone's ear off while there's nothing happening. As you can see here, I got all gussied up for you guys today because we're doing black. So I thought I would wear all black, and I even did really fancy makeup for you. So I hope that everybody enjoys all of this. All right. All right, I'm going to X out of this. Facebook says I have 2 people, but it's not telling me who's there. So whoever you are, I'm glad to see you. If and when you are joining me, please hit type in the comments #live, or if you're watching on the replay, #replay. Hey, Scorpion with Libra scales, and we'll be talking about color magic today. We're talking about black, thus all of this. I literally just signed in, so I'm giving it a couple minutes to see if anybody else joins. And in the meantime, why don't you do me a favor and toss a #live in the comments below, and for people who are watching it after the fact, #replay. And let me know if you like to wear black in ritual, because that's why I chose this today. I know you may or may not follow me on my blog or my email list, but all of my things this week were about ritual garb, and I thought black was a great place to start because black is such a popular color for ritual garb. And actually, the dress I'm wearing today is one of my favorite ritual dresses. So I got dressed up really nice for you. So let me know if you like to wear black. I would love to know, either if you're watching live or not. Hey, Sarah, glad you can make it. Thank you for the live. I know that not everybody who's watching has a ton of ritual experience, but if you've done rituals, tell me about it in the comments, what you wore, what you liked. Did you wear black? Did you wear different colors? Did you think about the color at all? I had here about how I was going to tell some of my favorites. Well, like I said, this is one of my favorites here. I like this because it's hard to find summer black. And this is a nice summery black dress. It's just got the spaghetti straps on it. I don't know if people still call them spaghetti straps, but I'm going to roll with that. So this is one of my favorites. Everything else I have is like really wintry. That's black, which is kind of hard as a witch if you want to wear black. So there is that. All right, I'm going to give it a couple more minutes, then I'm just going to jump in anyway. I know this is a different day than usual, so I don't know if people are just not prepared for me to be here. But we'll give it another minute or two, and then I'll jump in. I'm trying to think what else I have over there that maybe I could show you. I don't have a ton of black right now. I actually got rid of a few dresses because I haven't worn them in a while. Most of the other black dresses I have are things that I wear like fancy to go places. This is the only one that's really for ritual use. And I kind of need to buy a new one because it's falling apart. It has a paint stain on it because reasons, because I like to paint. If you follow me on the internet, you know that thing. But I really like this one. It's really hard to find good ones, so I haven't done that yet. All right, I'm just about ready to get started. Real quick, while we're waiting, I'll mention too, I was talking about ritual garb a few minutes ago, and I'll mention again the importance of ritual garb, why ritual garb is a thing, especially for folks who don't have a ton of spell or ritual experience. So first of all, you might be thinking to yourself, like, why should I dress up? That's silly. What's the point when I can just wear what I'm already wearing? And of course, you're not wrong. But here is, in my estimation, where having ritual attire can be really, really helpful. we talk about when we're casting our circles, the idea that we are creating a world between worlds, or a place between the realms. And wearing special dresses and using fancy tools, all of those things are things that help you mentally get into the space to say, okay, I'm doing something special, something magical now, because the world between worlds is like 98% up here and only 2% of what you're literally creating. It's all about the mind and creating the space within yourself in order to feel like you are prepared to be taking on that kind of magical working. So, all right, it has been 5 minutes approximately since I signed on, so I'm just going to jump in, and hopefully people will catch us on the replay if they're not already here, because I am simulcasting on Facebook and Instagram and YouTube as usual, so this will totally be available after the fact if anybody misses it. All right, so first of all, like I said, I decided that I wanted to do black today. Today is the first of my Color Magic series, and I wanted to do black because this week has been kind of talking about ritual garb on my website, on my blog, and in my email list. And black is obviously one of the most popular witchy colors. If you look on Facebook, it's, hey, Neo13XOX, we're talking about Color Magic today. I'm talking about the color black. That's why I have all this happening. What was I saying? But black is obviously one of the most common colors that people think about when they think about witchcraft, especially at Halloween time. It's just all black all the time. Trust me, there's way more than black, though, which is part of why this is not the only color I'm going to be covering. We're going to be doing all the colors. Next week will be red, if you're curious. And, oh, goodness, I'm getting all these messages. I'm going to respond to this one real quick. My neighbor wants to know. Neo13XO says they're a time traveler and a werewolf. Nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, too. Let's see. I am neither of those things. I am just a witch. All right. Yes. But I'm doing my live stream. Okay. So black is the most common color that you see people wearing. And most people will tell you, oh, this is really interesting. I found this website statistic where they were saying that 40% of women polled ranked black as their favorite clothing color, which I think is really interesting. Now, a lot of people wear it because obvious reasons, like it's slimming or whatever. But other than, it's still kind of fascinating, I think, to think about the fact that it's so popular across the board. Less so for men, but absolutely like super popular for women. But why do witches love black? That's really what we're here to chat about. So let's talk about that. Well, first of all, most witches, if you ask them why they wear black all the time, they'll tell you that they believe that it is protective and that it helps to absorb negative energy so that it cannot penetrate to themselves. Especially when you think about like as Samhain or Halloween, if you're not familiar with that word, or Samhain, some people mispronounce it, Samhain. They say that you're supposed to wear all black. It's a part of honoring the ancestors and honoring the underworld and the spirit world, but they usually say you're supposed to wear at least a little bit of black or red or orange, so you're not wearing all black, but whatever, it doesn't really matter. So when you talk about, when witches talk about the idea of black absorbing energy, that's not just woo-woo new age stuff. Scientifically speaking, black actually does absorb all light from the spectrum. Black is the absence of light, the absence of a lot of things. But in addition to that, for witches, they often use it a lot for banishing magic or for binding magic, again, because of its association with dark, removing, waning, banishing, removing of things. Black is supposed to represent nothingness. So what better way in magic or spell work to kind of represent that than by using the color black? The other thing that black is associated with is power. I'm sorry, you can't see power. Power. Just realized I'm on the wrong screen here. Power. There, now I can see what I'm doing. As a quick note, I'm like totally out of order. Hey, Lydia the Leprechaun, we're talking about color magic today, and I'm talking about the color black, which is why I'm all fancied up for you today. As just a note, if you're one of those people that really likes to use black as a color for garb for protection, just remember that black doesn't cleanse negative energy, it absorbs it. So it's very important that you regularly cleanse your items. And there's lots of different ways that you can do that. I'm not going to go into too much detail about that here because we're talking about color magic today specifically, but most common ways that people do that is with smoke cleansing or smudging, if you're more familiar. I don't like to use that word because it's considered kind of appropriative to indigenous people. Or you can, again, depending on the object, you can, water is something that's frequently used for cleaning. So literally just throwing a garment into the washing machine can also be cleansing. You can throw other essential oils and stuff in there too if you're feeling really special, even sage essential oil specifically, but don't even have to do that necessarily. Anything that is done with intention is magic and is ritual. And I say that all the time in my live streams. So, but black, in addition to being very protective, is considered to be a color of power. And let's think about this, from the very practical fact that let's say that you work in a big corporate job and you want to dress up. What's the color that you wear? 9 out of 10 people choose black because black they associate it as being a power color or a color that shows that they have authority and that they're dominant in their field and is considered to be a very powerful color. But of course, it's also sometimes associated with evil power, especially when you look at popular culture, pop media, movies, villains, et cetera, again, because of that darkness, because black represents nothingness, it also represents the unknown. And as a human race and as a species, we in general find the unknown to be just absolutely terrifying. So as a result, it's sort of become also associated with evil. Mistakenly in my opinion. The other thing too is I also associate black with night, with dark, with the feminine, and that's another thing that society is just deathly afraid of. So I think that those things all kind of go hand in hand. On the flip side, and I think this is really interesting, in Feng Shui, black is actually associated with calm. And they actually always suggest that you have one black object in every room because it serves as a focal point and a place to sort of absorb any ambient negative energy in the room, which is a cool witchy decorating tip too. Even if you don't specifically believe in Feng Shui, there's still actual, again, science to the idea that black absorbs other light, that black absorbs energy. I remember not that long ago, well, maybe it was longer than I realized, there was this article I saw where they had created the world's darkest black. And the black was so black that, again, it light could not bounce off of it, could not absorb it. It was just super crazy, intensely black. And it was, again, scientifically just fascinating that they had even done such a thing. So black, definitely good for absorbing lots of things. And of course, death, wow, I'm getting my words mixed up. Black is also associated with death and with transformation. Now, like I said, black representing nothing also represents the void or the idea of potential. So when we look at black, we think about death and dying, especially as living human beings, we don't know what that looks like exactly yet. So for us, when we think of death, because it's so unknown, we associate it with black because it's nothing. And in Feng Shui, in addition to being associated with calm, it's also associated with the unknown. So when you think about the unknown, the void, potential, nothing, those things all kind of roll into the same concept. And black is also considered to be the holder of hidden knowledge, which makes a lot of sense when you think about the idea of black absorbing things. So it's absorbing light, it's absorbing energy, and knowledge is information, and knowledge can be passed on light as information, especially according to Laurie Cabot if you subscribe to her teachings. So black, in a way, is also infinite knowledge. And of course, it's also associated with chaotic change. I went through a period of time where I was really regularly going to sweat lodges, traditional Dakota Inipi ceremonies, and we would create these strings of prayer ties. And there were 4 different colors of cloth that we would use. One of them was black. There was also red, yellow, and white. But black was always considered to be the color of big change. And we're not talking like, it's the be careful what you wish for prayer tie. So if you were using a black prayer tie, like you better be prepared for the fact that that change was going to be big, it was going to be chaotic, and it was going to be very transformative. Hey, out of the blue and pink, we're talking about color magic today. I'm covering the color black, thus my makeup and my dress today. So black, if you're using it in magic too, is also something that, is very powerful. So you should always be very careful about the things that you wish for when you are using it. And then, of course, black is also associated with grounding. Most of us think of earth as brown, but black also often gets lumped into the same category. For example, igneous rock is black for sure, and there are stones that are black. So it's associated with connection to the earth, and is also sometimes associated with water energy. So if you have any stones that are black, just across the board, black stones generally represent grounding and power and protection. Because black as a color, if it's a black stone, that means that stone is also going to be absorbing energy and light. And then finally, and I want to tiptoe around this a little bit because I don't know what my audience is like out there, but black is often also associated with sensuality. It's considered to represent imposing, an imposing person, or dominance, or power and femininity, which is a good tongue twister, femininity. And I have an interesting statistic here that says that 78% of the alleged witches that were charged in the witchcraft trials, a long time ago, were female. And at that point in history, females in general were generally very powerless. So the use of the color black became a sort of a way to express the power that they felt like they weren't getting in their day-to-day lives. Black suggests power not just personally and magically, but also, again, as women, even in other sensual, passionate sort of ways that over the course of history have been sort of removed from our narrative. We've been told it's not okay to have those feelings, and it's certainly not okay to act on them, and the color black sort of represents the reclaiming of that kind of power. So that said, that's actually all I have for you guys today. Obviously, there's a ton more that you guys can read into about black. By all means, do some Googling. I hope that you guys enjoyed this today. If you have any questions, feel free to pop them into the comments. I'll give it a couple minutes, and then we'll wrap it up. Real quick, I'll show off my really cool pendant I'm wearing while I'm waiting for anybody to chat. This is a Baphomet cameo. Super cool. I think lamely I totally got it at Spencer's Gifts, but I was so excited about the idea of a Baphomet cameo because one of my things I like to collect is like weird cameos. I have one that's Diana. It's just like a clear resin, but it's still Diana, which I thought was really cool. I've got my Baphomet. I've had one that's purple with fairies. I feel like I'm forgetting one. Oh, I have one that's Ganesh, which is really cool. So I love cameos, and this one's really cool. So here's Baphomet. You can see the as above, so below with the moons. So, all right. Well, it looks like nobody has any questions, so I'm going to call it a day. I hope that you guys are having a wonderful weekend, and I hope that you join me again next weekend when we do the color red. And we'll be talking about that. Really exciting. Hopefully I have time to make a fancy outfit for you then too. I'm going to have to track down some red lipstick because my children destroyed the red that I already had. So blessed be. Happy weekend. And if you're joining late, feel free to go back and rewatch this on the hashtag replay. Blessed be. Take care.